and support in Indian Wells. Look at this. I mean, this was in Australia. Court 6 literally had a line. I know I'm exaggerating, but it went for miles at the Aussie. It was wild scenes there. Ali, can you remember a women's star who gets this type of support wherever she goes?
Yeah, well, Taylor Swift? I mean...
Yeah, for sure.
We're not concerned about anyone else right now. It's Alex Eala time. This is Alex Eala's moment. Our days, our dinners, our evenings are fixated on when she's playing. That's real tennis fandom right there. Love it.
This is so great for tennis in general, I think, having players like Alex out there. And she's so gracious to all her fans. She spends time with her fans, signs the autographs, takes the photos, and really just shows the Filipino community that it is all about the Philippines. And I still carry that flag with me no matter where I go across the world. And such a young woman at that has that wisdom of just what it means to play for her country.
Only 20 years old, such maturity, already a hero to her entire nation. I mean, it's basically Manny Pacquiao and Alex Eala, right? I mean,
That's it.
That's who they're looking up to.
Alex Eala has just reached a number no Filipino tennis player has ever touched before. The ranking update arrived at exactly the right time. She came through a match that looked like it was about to end her Indian Wells run, found a way to win it, and woke up the next day sitting at the highest ranking of her career. People across the tennis world are paying very close attention now. How high can Alex Eala climb by the end of 2026? Top 20, top 10, or maybe even higher? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. Let's say it clearly. Alex Eala is now ranked number 28 in the world in the WTA live rankings. That is her new career high. No Filipino tennis player has ever gone that high before. She reached that mark after winning a match in Indian Wells, California that looked like it was slipping away from her, and then she walked into the press conference afterward looking calm, steady, and completely unfazed.
Yastremska left herself exposed when she came forwards. It's a golden opportunity missed, believe it, after working so hard to get the break. She's been broken right back. Oh. Couldn't have placed it better. The noise is deafening inside Stadium 3. One of the best. But there's just too many errors in her game. Too many double faults. 8 in this set alone. 15 for the match. And it hands Alex Eala a 4th match point. It's Eala's night, and the Filipina wins a blockbuster close to midnight in Indian Wells. Look at the great respect between these two. This was a sensational match. Diana Yastremska more than played her part. Lovely respect between the two, but it's Alex Eala who thrives in these matches. She thrives in these kinds of atmospheres, and she's done it again. 7-5, 4-6, 7-5. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And if not the match of the tournament so far, it's certainly a big contender, and it's going to be hard to beat. I think the support in the end got her over the line, but you've got to feel for Diana Yastremska. She had chances.
Her win over Diana Yastremska, 75-46-75, was not one of those smooth and easy victories where one player stays in control from start to finish and wraps everything up without much drama. This was a battle. It went 3 sets. Momentum kept changing hands. In the 3rd set, Yastremska had already earned a break and was fully in command, like she was about to close the door on the match. That was the moment when Eala dug in. She found another level when it looked like there was nothing left in the tank. She started striking the ball with courage, trusted her shots, and flipped the match around. That result moved her from her official ranking of 32 up to number 28 in the live rankings. Before the tennis world could even fully absorb what had just happened, her next match was already set. She is now lined up to face Coco Gauff in the round of 32. Yes, that means world number 4 Coco Gauff at Indian Wells on American soil, with the crowd expected to be heavily behind Gauff. And all of that comes less than a month after Gauff beat Eala 6-0, 6-2 in Dubai. There is something almost unbelievable about the way Alex Eala's career keeps setting up these moments. Still, before getting too far ahead, the ranking itself deserves full attention because this milestone stands on its own. Number 28 in the world in women's tennis on the WTA Tour is a serious number. This is a global sport. It has produced great players from many different countries, and it has one of the deepest and toughest professional fields in all of sports. For a 20-year-old Filipino player to be sitting at number 28 in that environment is not something people should brush past with a quick mention before moving on. This is history. Anyone who has followed Eala from her junior years, from the time she was winning junior Grand Slam titles and making people take notice on the development circuit, has been waiting to see whether that promise would carry over at the senior level. Now the answer is right in front of everyone. It is no longer a theory. It is no longer just potential. It is a real ranking, built on real wins, against real professionals, on real surfaces. The number is there. Nobody can argue with it. And the path she took to get here says as much as the number itself. Eala did not build this ranking by beating weak competition in small events. She has been playing on major stages against players good enough to beat anyone when they are on form. More importantly, she has been winning in difficult situations. That has been the pattern of her 2026 season so far. She is competing in WTA-level events against ranked professionals. She is making runs that put her on court against some of the biggest names in the sport. She is drawing real fan support, the kind tournament directors notice because crowds follow her from one city to another and bring energy that becomes part of the match. And she is doing all of this while still putting the full package together, still improving parts of her game, still learning how to handle the physical and mental grind of a long professional season. Nobody ever doubted the talent. That part has been obvious since her teenage years. The real question was whether she could bring that same level from junior tennis into the senior game, week after week, against stronger players, more experienced players, and opponents fighting for their living. That question is being answered right now, and the answer is starting to look more and more like yes. Now think about what number 28 actually means on the WTA Tour. The top 32 players in the world get direct entry into the main draws of Grand Slam tournaments. At number 28, Eala is comfortably inside that zone. That means no qualifying rounds, no extra grind just to reach the main event. She goes straight into the draw at the biggest tournaments in the sport. That matters more than people realize. Players who need to qualify have already spent physical and mental energy before the main draw even begins. Players who enter directly can save that energy, prepare specifically for their opening opponent, and arrive with a cleaner schedule and a fresher body. At number 28, Eala has earned the right to prepare the way top players prepare. That is a major step. It changes how you plan your calendar, how you protect your body, and how you enter events knowing your place is already secure. And if she makes a deeper run at Indian Wells, that number can keep moving. The live rankings update in real time, so every win adds more points and pushes her higher. A quarterfinal or semi-final run at a WTA 1000 event like Indian Wells would bring in a serious points boost and could move her into the top 20 for the first time in her career. Top 20 in the world. That is not some wild fantasy right now. That is an actual possibility based on the numbers. 2 years ago, the conversation was about whether Eala could settle into the top 100 at senior level. 1 year ago, people were asking whether she could reach the top 50 and stay there. Now, top 20 is a realistic outcome that could happen during this very tournament. If you lay out the progression step by step, it almost sounds too fast to believe. But that is where things stand. Now there is the obvious issue hanging over the press conference room, and that is the fact that Eala's reward for beating Yastrzemanska is a match against the player who most recently beat her, and beat her badly. Coco Gauff at Indian Wells is the kind of matchup that tests everything. Gauff is not only ranked number 4 in the world, she is also playing at home in California, where the crowd is expected to lean heavily in her favor. That matters. A stadium full of fans pulling for your opponent changes the entire feeling of a match. It adds pressure. It changes momentum. Small mistakes feel bigger. Tight moments feel tighter. Eala spoke about that after the Yastremska win. She said the match will be tough. She said she expects a strong crowd behind Gauff. She said she will have to dig even deeper than she did today. Then she added that she is excited and ready. That can be read as confidence, and it probably is. It can also be the kind of answer players give when they are already doing heavy mental preparation behind the scenes. Most likely, it is both. The Dubai score, 6-0-6-2, is the number critics keep bringing up when they want to slow down the excitement around Eala. Fair enough. That score matters. It showed a version of Coco Gauff that Eala could not solve on that day. The power was too much. The pace was too much. The consistency was too much. There is no soft way to describe a 6-0, 6-2 defeat. Gauff was in control, and Eala was on the receiving end of a hard lesson. But there is another side to that story, and this part matters too. The Eala who played in Dubai was at a lower ranking and at an earlier point in her 2026 season, before the run of results that has now carried her to a career high. The player stepping onto the court at Indian Wells is not the same player who walked off it in Dubai. She now has more match experience. She now has more confidence built from winning tough matches. She now has direct knowledge of what Gauff brings and what has to change. That does not guarantee a different result. It does mean the conditions around this rematch are not the same. The inputs are different, and that makes the match different too. There is also another layer to this. Eala and Gauff have history beyond singles. At one point, they were doubles partners. That means Eala has seen Gauff from close range in a completely different setting. She has seen how she moves, how she communicates, how she reads situations. That kind of familiarity does not automatically turn into a singles upset, but it is useful information. Watching film tells you one thing. Sharing the court as a partner can tell you something else. The bigger picture for Eala in 2026 is the one many people in Philippine sports have been waiting to see for a long time. Tennis is a global sport with a very established order, and breaking into the upper tier of that order as a player from the Philippines is harder than it may appear from the outside. Players from countries like the United States, Russia, the Czech Republic, or Australia usually come through systems built for this level. They have deep coaching pipelines, major financial support, development programs, and a longer history of producing elite players. All of those advantages build up over time. By the time many of those players reach the senior tour, they are already tested and fully backed. Eala has climbed into this position through talent, hard work, and a mental edge that people noticed years ago when she was still winning junior titles. Every time she steps on court, she carries the hopes of a country with her. The fan support, the travel, the social media reaction after every win and loss, all of that shows what she means to Filipino sports. Number 28 in the world is not only a ranking, it is proof. It shows that the path people believed in was real. It shows that the junior success was an early sign, not the finish line. And it shows that the senior tour is exactly where Eala belongs. The doubters who wondered if she could really make it at this level, who questioned whether junior success would carry over, who were unsure she could compete regularly against the best players in the world, are all looking at the rankings now. And those rankings are giving the same answer after every match. She is here, she is moving up, and she is still going. Indian Wells is not finished. The match with Gauff is next. The atmosphere will be loud. The opponent will be one of the best in the world. The stage will be huge. But a player who can come back from the edge of defeat in the third set and then sit in front of the press saying she is excited for the next challenge has something that rankings alone cannot fully explain. Number 28 is where she stands today. The bigger question is where the ceiling really is. Right now, nobody has a clear answer to that. And if you have followed her story from the beginning, that is exactly the kind of uncertainty you were hoping for. That is the full story behind Eala reaching number 28 in the world and why it matters for the future of her career. If this got you excited for what is coming next at Indian Wells, hit the like button and drop your ranking prediction in the comments. And if you have not subscribed yet, take care of that now. More Eala coverage is coming all tournament long.